welcome to the Ghana Education News channel on YouTube. In today's exams and study tips, we will be looking at 10 pieces of advice that every student who is preparing to write his or her BECE should take and consider. These pieces of advice aim at ensuring that you do the right things whilst you are preparing for your impending BECE examination. These advice, if followed, would increase your chances of excelling in your BECE with less stress. These are well-tested, practical, and useful suggestions. By the end of this video, we expect that you would have acquired some basic skills to help you improve on your performance as a BECE candidate. Also, for students who are not BECE candidates but are in school, the strategies and steps and advices we give out, the strategies, the pieces of advice that we give out in this video can be of use to you. You would be better positioned to get ready for your next examination, be it an end of term exams or the BECE. Even those who are in the senior high school or the universities can tap into the knowledge shared in this video to their benefit. Do not forget to press the notification button so that each time we share very useful exams and study tips, you will be notified. Welcome to this edition of Study Tips for Students on Ghana Education News. Every junior high school student who is in JHS 3 and is preparing for the BECE wants nothing but success. But to be successful in your exams, you also need advice. Not just advice, good advice. And you have a role to play by also following these pieces of advice to the letter. And so let's take a look at the 10 pieces of advice that you would need to follow and to be guided with to excel in your BECE. Advice number 1: start preparing for the exams early. Probably your BECE examination for this year may be in October. We are in May. June, July, August, September. You have nearly 4 months. You have nearly 4 months to write your examination. Start early. If you have not started putting yourself in the examination mood, I encourage you to start now. Do you have a timetable? You need to start, because if you don't start learning now, you will delay your preparation or your readiness for the BECE when the time is due to give an account of your 9 years of basic education And so the first advice is start now. Advice number 2, start solving past questions. There are several past questions as far as the BECE is concerned. BECE started way back in 1990. And so you have at least 31 years of BECE past questions. And very often our teachers encourage us to buy past questions that come with solutions. Unfortunately, some of our parents do not see the need for it. But trust me, once you start solving past questions, you will get used to the kind of examination questions you are likely to be asked during the BECE. You would also get to know how to solve these questions and the kind of answers that your examiner expects you to put across when you are asked similar questions in the examination. And so it is very important. If you cannot solve a question but you have been taught, revise your notes or get in touch with your teachers or your friends who can solve such questions. And when you get to them, be humble, be disciplined, and be attentive so that their effort will not be in vain. Unfortunately, at this time when students are being registered for the BECE or they are getting ready for the examination, some feel too big to take advice, and so they miss the opportunity. Don't do that. It is time to wake up at dawn. Learning at dawn helps a lot because at that moment or at that time, your mind and your body are relaxed and fresh. And so you are able to retain more. If it becomes a habit for you, you are good to go. So wake up at dawn. If you cannot wake up at dawn, set your alarm clock or tell your parents to wake you up. Once you start learning at dawn, probably the first 2 or 3 days would be difficult, but your system or your body will get used to it. Your mindset will get used to it, and you cover a lot of grass through your learning at dawn or early in the morning. Don't waste time oversleeping. This is the moment to start training yourself, because in the examination week you will be tempted to wake up at dawn to learn or to prepare for the exams. Why not start teaching yourself how to do that now? My advice number 4 to you is to change your friends. Yes, there are good friends and there are bad friends. There are friends who are serious and those who are not serious. There are those who get you into trouble and there are those who take you out of trouble. There are those who help you to be serious with your books. There are those who will make sure that your books are dumped somewhere and you are somewhere else messing up. If you want to pass your exams as a BECE candidate, you need to choose your friends carefully as you prepare towards the BECE. Friends that will not bring improvement into your academic life, friends that would make it difficult for you to study, friends that do not like to study, friends who don't know what the examination is all about and are only passing through. Dump them. This way, you are selecting the right people to be around you. A friend that will say, let's go and learn. A friend that will say, what you are doing will not help you pass the examination. It's a good one. So choose your friends carefully. If you yourself, you have noticed that you are not a good friend to others, change as well. Because at the end of the exams, you will go home alone with your exams results. And your friends would also go home with theirs as well. Jubilation in another home, sadness in your home is not what your parents want. They want excitement so that their investment into your education would be rewarded with good results from the BECE. So change your. But let's think about this. After the mock examination, what happens to the remaining questions that you did not choose during the mock? Very often, we choose questions we can solve in the mock examinations, right? Good. So, once you didn't choose a question and the mock is over, that is the period or time that you give attention to that particular or those questions by attempting to solve them or by solving them. If you can't still solve them, what it means is that if the final exams is due and the examiner decides to bring similar questions from that or those topics, you'll be in trouble. So after each mock, do your best to go through the questions, the ones you solved and the ones you did not consider or did not attempt to solve or you did not choose at all, and make a conscious effort to solve them. Even the questions you were able to solve in your mock, very often there are some that you do well in, others you don't do well in them. Those you did not do well in, it is an indication that you have a weakness as far as that particular topic or subject or question is concerned. And so one good thing you can do is to revisit your textbook or your notes concerning that question. Revise and reassess yourself. When you learn, don't just be reading. It is fun to read, but you would agree with me that at the BECE or in your exams, you are not going to be reading alone. You'll be reading questions and you will be required to produce or provide the answers. Hence, when you read, summarize what you have read in your own words or understanding. This is to say, make your summarized notes on the topics or on the subjects or on the area you have learned. This requires that you have an exercise book or a set of exercise books into which you are going to write these summarized notes. It is very dangerous to read without writing or summarizing. For instance, if you are studying mathematics, don't go reading solutions in your mind. Get a pen and a book or the relevant materials and equipment or tools and begin to solve that question. This way, you will retain some of the knowledge. The more you write and summarize, the better for you. Because when the examination is getting closer, it will be difficult for you to take your huge textbook and to be glancing through. But if you have a summarized note, what it means is that you can access or use it to refresh your memory of the things you have learned already. In one of our earlier exam study tips videos we have shared on YouTube, we learned that it is important that as a student you learn and teach others. It is important that you learn and teach others. Once you teach others, it helps you to retain the memory or the knowledge. It also helps you to be able to recollect what you have learned, and it becomes an assessment, a personal assessment for you, whether you can remember them. Another advice is this. You see, in every examination, there are grades you want to score. The BECE exams or the WASSCE that you are about to write, there is a grade you want to score. For instance, you may want to score 1 in English as a BECE candidate, 1 in social studies as a BECE candidate, 1 in integrated science as a BECE candidate. So for all the 9 subjects, you ask yourself, what grade do I want to make? And write it down. Write it somewhere you would always see. Too hard on yourself. If you know you cannot make 1 in integrated science, but you can make 2, set the target at 2 and work very hard towards it. If you are learning towards the examination and you don't have any particular grade per subject in mind, it can have an effect on you because you are not challenged enough. And so setting targets for your BECE subject by subject is a way of challenging yourself to work hard and to attain the set goal or target. Someone would say, I want to make aggregate 10. Fair enough. What grade do you intend to obtain in the various 9 subjects so that when summed up will give you aggregate 10? That could be a starting point where you as a student, you come out with your targets for each subject and sum them up to be able to tell whether your best 6 courses or subjects can help you attain that grade. And then you work at it. Avoid the temptation of absenting yourself from school, because your teachers are working around the clock to teach specific topics or sections of the topics per each subject over a period of time. Very often when you miss any of these classes, you can get lost as far as the knowledge being shared by your teacher is concerned. And sometimes it's difficult to really follow the remaining lessons. Hence, don't be a truant. Be in school and be regular. Be part of discussions, class activities, exercises, tests, and quiz that your teacher aims to use to get you ready for your BECE. Participate. Don't just be a spectator in the class. Ask questions. Overcome your fears. Sometimes students are scared of asking questions, and so they keep quiet. Learn to ask questions so that you can get answers. The more questions you ask, the more your teacher is challenged to even explain better and clearer. Your schools organize mock examinations for you. Mock examinations are excellent because they put you in the study mood, they put you in the examination mood. You are tested to find out your strength and your weaknesses. Now, in the mock, you may have section B having, let's say, 6 questions or 8 questions, and the instruction is that you should answer 3 questions out of the 6, or let's say 4 questions out of the 6. And so you choose your questions and you answer them. You may do well or not do well at all in that mock. That really is not an issue for me, because for not doing well or doing well, you have known yourself and your readiness for the impending examination. But if you do well, that should encourage you that you should keep pushing. If you do well, it's an indication that your learning and effort is beginning to pay off. Visit our website on ghanaeducation.org and find very useful educational materials, past questions with solutions, likely examination questions that our exams team have put out there. Download them, try your hands on them, and share among others. Now, do not forget to hit the notification button down below so that our subsequent videos, once uploaded, will be made known to you, and you can continue to learn your exams and study tips from ghanaeducation.org. We wish you the best as you prepare for your BECE. Put in practice the pieces of advice you have received in this video. And until then, stay safe.